Hello and welcome to another episode of the Sal Licata Show, available on YouTube, Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts. What a day we had yesterday with the NFL free agency. Now, we know it's chaos as we record these podcasts in the morning, expecting things to happen throughout the course of the day. And right out of the gate, we had the Jets with a big trade with Minkah Fitzpatrick. You know, the thing, and we'll get into all the moves that they made and what they should still do. And to me, it's still about the quarterback. That's the number one priority. And I can't even believe some of the stuff that I'm hearing as it pertains to the Jets and the quarterback. But I thought a great day for the Giants and a good day for the Jets, an okay day for the Jets. Forget about who's coming and going, you know, overall with people, you know, the players that they lost or players that they wanted that they didn't get. Let's just focus on what actually happened. So starting with the Fitzpatrick trade, see, ideally for me, the Jets need to be focused on building a culture, a winning culture. I know everybody, I actually hate that term, culture. Like, what does that mean, culture? Okay. But the Jets need to establish, maybe I'll change it up, establish a foundation of success. And the way you do that with a team that doesn't have a ton of talent, that has a lot of draft picks, obviously it's going to be through that does have a lot of draft picks, was what I meant to say. It doesn't have a lot of talent locked up, a ton of draft picks, you know they're going to be building through the draft. That's the way you do that. And you supplement it and complement it with some solid moves in free agency. They may not be the sexiest, may not be the biggest names, but that's kind of what the Jets are doing. I guess the only question that I have is that, and I like that myself. But yesterday when we were talking about the Jets can't go get Geno Smith, I mean, my God, what are we doing? Or Derek Carr, they can't do that. The comments from fans or Badabooms, who we'll get to in a minute here, the pushback is, well, the Jets just want to lose and put themselves in a position to get Arch Manning next year, or basically just go out there and tank and try to have the top pick as best you can next year. Well, that doesn't go in line with the other moves. And by the way, it's not just Badabooms or some of the comments. There are some reports that are saying the same thing. Like the Jets, you know, the idea this year is they're going to just play it slow and whatever it may be. No, that can't happen. Not that I expect them to go compete legitimately for a playoff spot, but aren't you sick and tired of watching crap football every Sunday? Like, aren't you sick and tired of it? And now, see, it used to be, and this is where the real problem is going to come for the Jets. It used to be that it was both the Jets and the Giants. It was equal footing. I know they're not the biggest of rivals. It's not like a Mets, Yankees, or Rangers, Islanders, whatever. Still, it was always the Jets and Giants both suck. The Jets and Giants both can't get out of the first 2 weeks of the season and play some meaningful football beyond October or even into Halloween, whatever it may be. And now the Giants went out there in the offseason and hired a legitimate head coach. Unquestioned, the best head coach on the market. They got him. I'm shocked that he wanted the Giants, but he did. And now you're seeing the immediate dividends already. Who knows what the results are actually going to be on the field, but to me, it projects well. They could be a playoff team. Maybe they're a borderline playoff team. They're going to be significantly better and more competitive than they have been in a long time. And even the moves that they're making show you that yesterday. We said it before the move started to happen, that you knew it was going to happen. Now they're starting to happen, and there's more to come. Now the Jets are going to be left in the dust as the team that's not going to be competitive again next year. That's got to change. I'm sorry, but even though year one with Aaron Glenn was kind of like, oh, what a disaster, the expectation going in was that the Jets were going to compete in some of these football games, that they had some talent on defense, that Justin Fields coming in on offense with the weapons that they have on offense, Garrett Wilson, Breece Hall, the Jets are supposed to compete. And it was a freaking disaster by every stretch of the imagination. Like, you look at how bad that season was, so bad, in fact, that it forced Jet fans and some media members to change the expectation of what they were supposed to be. Instead of, hey, this team can compete, maybe win 8-9 games if everything goes right, it was, well, it's year one, a total rebuild. And then obviously in season, they trade away Sauce Gardner. They make it all these big moves. So with the Jets, Quentin Williams, obviously all the big moves they make. With the Jets, it turned from, well, they should be competitive in the first year with Glenn and show some signs, and Glenn himself said it, to total dismantling of the team, which was the right move, and total rebuild. But that doesn't mean that year two, with all the draft picks that they have, with all the cap space that they have, that they can't be competitive the way that they thought they were supposed to be a year ago. That should be the goal. Worry about the future of the quarterback position later. You can't go into a season worrying about next draft when so many things can happen? Who knows if Arch Manning is even any good, A. B, are you going to have the first pick even if you are an awful team? C, if you do have the first pick, is he going to come in? Like, too many variables for that. You can't worry about that. Muji has done the right thing as far as putting his team in a position to strike if they needed to trade up with the draft picks. Also, being able to select a bunch of players that he and Glenn want to bring into their culture. But make no mistake about it, it should be about winning some football games this year. So back to the Fitzpatrick thing, that's a move that would indicate that they're serious about trying to win now. Again, not at the highest of levels, not that they're going to be competing for the AFC East crown, because they're not, but that's a move that you say, okay, they're bringing a veteran safety, the only, and you're going to pay him. The only reason why they do that is because they're going to try to win some football games, and that should be the primary goal, not tank for Arch Manning or whatever the saying is going to be. That's absurd talk. Now, that leads me to the big point. Like, the other names. I mean, bring in some defensive tackle. DeMario Davis, bringing him back. Nice move. He was very good with the Saints. Obviously, you remember him. Okay, so they re-signed Beck, the fullback here, so they don't lose him. Who else do they bring in here, Badabooms, that you have up on top of the list?
Kingsley Eningbare. He's a defensive end coming from Green Bay, a draft out of
you like that
Arkansas.
move? Yeah, the pass rusher from Green Bay. Okay, I mean, all right. So they bring
Osai from Cincinnati,
right?
Originally out of Texas.
A defensive tackle, Onamata from the Falcons, bringing in. Yeah, I mean, okay. So they brought in a bunch of different players, as they need to bring in a bunch of different players. So my question is, that's great. Like, those pieces are nice. What are they going to do at quarterback? Because that was the main issue last year. And we went from yesterday talking about, I want Kyler Murray. If not Kyler Murray, Malik Willis. If not Malik Willis, Tua Tagovailoa. Well, two of the top three that I would want to bring in, they are off the board. Malik Willis going to Miami. He gets his money following his former coach or whatever in Green Bay. They go down to Miami. He's going to be the guy there. Tua signs on with the Falcons. Who knows if he's going to be a backup or potentially start, whether Penix is ready or not, whatever. Solid signing for them. And that leaves Kyler Murray, who, the reports are saying that he would prefer to play for the Vikings, or I think I saw one with the Colts. I'm still not sold on that, but that's got to be the guy for the Jets, because if not, the names you keep hearing, Geno's, like, this was an actual report from Connor Hughes of SNY, who knows what he's talking about, that the Jets, their ideal quarterback, this is his words, not mine, their ideal quarterback room, Geno Smith and Carson Wentz, at least one of the two. What? Who's watching these games that actually thinks Geno Smith is a good idea and Carson Wentz is beyond finished? Like, you want to tell me you want to have Wentz in the room because you think he's a veteran, because Frank Reich likes him? Like, guys, what are we doing here? What the hell are we doing here? Geno Smith is horrible. He threw the most interceptions in the league. Like, if you like quarterback play, you think Justin Fields was bad? Geno Smith takes a ton of sacks. A couple of years ago, he had the most sacks in the league. Most sacks in the league, most interceptions in the league. He is horrible. I know he had a couple of decent years, maybe 2 good years in his career, Geno Smith with Seattle. Maybe. And that was more like, how the hell did that happen? As opposed to, wow, he turned the corner. Not to mention the tie-ins with what he did here before. Like, I'm not going to go nuts about this every single day until they either sign him or don't, but it can't be Geno Smith. That's a disaster waiting to happen. I can't watch it. You guys want to watch Geno Smith again every week? I mean, Mike, come on. They need a real quarterback. I say this dead, like, sometimes we exaggerate for effect. I would legitimately rather have Justin Fields going in a year 2 than I would watch Geno Smith or Carson Wentz for that matter. You know what? I'm wrong about Derek Carr. I take it back already. I'll take Derek Carr. Anybody but Geno Smith. If it means Derek Carr coming back out of retirement, even though I know he's not good, I'd rather have him than Geno Smith by far. But those aren't good options. The Jets need a quarterback. They got to figure out a way to find one. A better one than what they had a year ago, which shouldn't be that hard, and a better one than Carson Wentz or Geno Smith. That also shouldn't be that hard. Now, part of the issue that they're going to have too is that some guys may not want them. I don't know the legitimate interest. I know there's been some stuff rolling around on social media. I'm not buying, unless it comes from one of the reputable reporters. This is where people are trolling or they're having parody accounts, so I can't get caught up in that. I don't know, and maybe we'll learn soon the legitimacy of interest, if the Jets had any interest in Malik Willis. But let's say that they did. Do you think Malik Willis had interest in the Jets? Probably not. Same thing with Tua. Like, I would get on the Jets for saying, how can you not have any interest in Tua whatsoever? Maybe they did, but maybe he wanted no part of them and he goes to a better situation for him. Same thing with Kyler Murray. How could the Jets not go all in for Kyler Murray? Well, maybe they do. Maybe they're trying to, but maybe ultimately he wants to go somewhere else. That's something that you really can't fault Muji and Glenn on. That's more of a Woody thing, that the built-in inherited culture for years is just not good enough, and the situation that they're in is not good enough. It's why we praise Rodgers so much, because he was a guy that wanted to come to the Jets, where most guys run the other way. Oh, it's not a good enough opportunity. I'm not going to go there and try to be the savior. They got nothing around me, blah, 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 blah. So there's twofold here. One, are the Jets focused on bringing in the right people? Two, are those right people willing to come here? We'll see. But it can't be the answer, and it's starting to point this way. It can't be Geno Smith and or Carson Wentz. I don't want either of them in the quarterback room. The Jets want both. The best signing made yesterday was by the Giants. And it may not be sexy, but this is what wins football games. And that's what we alluded to yesterday when you're talking about building a team the right way and trusting John Harbaugh to build the team the right way and try to go out there and make this team more competitive to win games. They added some nice pieces, some depth pieces, whatever, but Jordan Stout, by far the best signing of the day yesterday. People always get caught up in wide receiver. People get caught up in running back, obviously quarterback, edge rusher, the sexy spots, even cornerback. But nobody talks about going into the offseason, or very few people talk about it going into the free agent season. Hey, let's go lock down the best punter. That's exactly what needs to be done to help you win football games. The Giants got the best punter in the league in Jordan Stout. Harbaugh, who's a special teams guy, that's how he started with Philadelphia. You knew he was going to value that. The Giants' special teams have been a freaking disaster forever. Now they try to shore that up, and they're going to, not even try, they're going to shore that up because Harbaugh won't accept anything less. So they put an emphasis on that. They go out there and spend and get the best punter in the league in Jordan Stout. To me, that was the best move of the day yesterday, certainly when you tie in both local teams here. But it wasn't just that. They made some nice moves as well. Isaiah Likely, he's a guy that would pop last year. If you watch the Ravens or even fantasy football, Likely has great potential. He was playing with Mark Andrews as well as tight end. So maybe didn't get as many, wasn't the singular focal point that he could become here with the Giants, with Jackson Dart throwing the ball. But Isaiah Likely's talent and skill set jump off the screen at you if you watch the Ravens at all last year. Tremaine Edmonds, bring him in. All right, whatever. Bring Hodgins back. And Illuminor, bringing him back, that was a solid move for the Giants, keeping that O-line intact. Illuminor has been, he's been a solid player for them on that offensive line. It just shows you that the Giants are headed in the right direction. I'm not trying to say that the Jets aren't. The Jets have further ways to go after what they did last year, starting the full rebuild, and they don't have the quarterback in place, and they don't have a head coach that is known like Harbaugh. So that's the big difference. But just the smart moves that the Giants have made now under Harbaugh, to me, you have to love it. Starting with the punter, the fact that they get the best punter in the league in Stout, to me, that's great. Badabooms, what are you thinking? Because I wanted to get to this with you off of our conversation from yesterday, where you were talking about tank for Arch or whatever the words you used exactly. Then shortly after we finished up recording the podcast, they go out there and they add Minkah Fitzpatrick, who, I love him as a player, and I love that type of player and that veteran, the attitude, all that stuff. But that goes opposite of what you're saying as far as this team just being bad to go get the quarterback next year, which I think is just a foolish logic.
Yeah, I think maybe I spoke a little bit too soon, and I'm learning this.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, so right. So now you wanted the tank, and then they get Fitzpatrick. Like, yeah, baby, Muji, let Muji cook.
First of all, easy on the GOAT. Easy on Muji. Maybe I'm a little bit too early on calling him the GOAT, but I am a Muji supporter, defender, and believer. I think he's the biggest asset.
Sure, you called Joe Douglas the GOAT, too.
Well, this is the thing, Sal, right? In my time watching this team, rarely have they had a competent GM, right? And I think Douglas had the right mindset. He just did he didn't make the right picks in some spots, right? He fumbled the quarterback how many times? He fumbled Mekhi Becton when they could have got worse. They could have got the other offensive tackle there that year. So Douglas had the right thought process and mindset of building in the trenches. He went about it wrong. So far, the way Darren Muji's going, it looks like he's doing things right. You want to say Fields. A lot of people said that Fields was on Glenn. I want to touch on what
whoever it was on, they both brought him in, and he was god awful.
He was awful.
I didn't think he was going to be good. He was even worse than that. As a matter of fact, I bet he'd be better next year. And now I know we're not going to get a chance to see that. But not only was Fields awful, he's taking a lot of the blame. It was much more than just Fields. They were a total mess.
Well, he couldn't throw the football, so that's the first.
But he never could throw the football. So
no, you're right. You're right.
Were Muji?
Can I tell you when he could? Can I tell you when he could throw the football?
Ohio State.
The biggest blue ball of my life, week 1 last year.
Yeah,
he threw that beauty to Garrett Wilson. He was fitting him in tight windows and doing everything. And it's like, oh, Justin Fields, did they get this right? And then the rest of the year, he's nothing like that.
He played game 1. He played like an MVP. I said that on the fan at the time. MVP. In game 1.
No, you're not wrong. You're not wrong.
In game 1, that was an MVP type performance. Not that I ever thought he would be an MVP, but that's how good he was or how great he was in week 1. And he couldn't even have any sustainability. But to me, that's a little bit of the offensive line, a little bit of the running game, a little bit of the coaching, a little bit on the receivers, and a lot of bit on him, obviously, being gun shy. I think he got banged up early on, too. We know about that.
You lost Garrett, too. Once he lost Garrett.
Yeah, okay. But dude, you're going to go from that. So I don't trust that they were able to pick the right quarterback because they already failed, number 1, for now. They have to prove themselves. Number 2, you're going to go from that to Geno's. You want to watch Geno Smith? What?
No, I don't want to watch Geno. That's a ridiculous spot. I don't want to watch Geno Smith.
All right, so who do you want? You still haven't given me an answer. You keep saying Arch Manning. Who's going to win games this year?
There is no answer. And you were just going on and blabbing about what are they going to do at quarterback. What are they going to do at quarterback for the last 50 years? This team hasn't had a quarterback in forever, and I love Chad. I'm the biggest Chad supporter and defender. Even Sanchez, I was the defender of. But they weren't game breakers. I mean, maybe Chad early on.
I know, but now it's like I'm doing a show with BT. No, we don't need to go back in history. We're talking about now. What should be the primary goal of this organization now? It should be to win games. You like what Muji did yesterday, right?
I was very happy. Yeah, I was very happy. I think you're downplaying what he did. He didn't overplay for guys who are past their. I'll get to. Don't say Douglas. I'll get to or Davis. Excuse me. Don't get to Demario Davis yet. He didn't pay for guys that are past their prime. What they've already done. He's paying for what guys can do, and I like that thought process. That's what Tannenbaum did so well, especially with like Calvin Pace and all them. So that being said, Demario Davis is the first what you have to look at here because that's going to tell a story for other things. And let me go on this. You know why they re-signed a 37-year-old linebacker who used to be here?
Why?
Why, Badabooms? Because he's the definition of a leader and a mentor. Yeah. And who are they going to draft number 2 overall?
Go ahead. Who?
Arvell Reese, a linebacker. They're going to use Demario Davis's knowledge of the game and his experience of the game as a mentor role, as a leadership role to help Arvell Reese.
Same thing with Fitzpatrick. You're bringing in a veteran leader type. I like that, and we'll see how it plays out. You know, I also like Quincy Williams as a player myself. I know he had some issues last year. I
was heartbroken about that yesterday.
Yeah. Oh, okay. But so is Demario Davis at this point in his career better than Quincy Williams?
I wouldn't say that he's better, but he is a better mentor and leader from his years on the road. I mean, this is a multi-time all-pro. So what are they doing? I'm not saying
trying to build a culture of guys that are okay. So I like that. So we can agree there. Now the next step to that would be having to win games. How are they going to do that? Well, Sal, how are they going to do that? They need to get a quarterback in here that can actually throw the football to their own team. That's what you want. Like Justin Fields can't throw the football, so you want to move on from him. Geno Smith can throw the football. He just throws it to the wrong team. So you want to actually get into a spot where you get a quarterback that can both throw the football, but also throw it to the right team, which has been a very difficult thing for the Jets to find. And when they do find it, they can't keep him healthy. And when they had that with Aaron Rodgers, they dismissed him. They screwed up the Rodgers thing. Glenn was so foolish that he's like, I don't need Aaron Rodgers. No, they did. I don't need Aaron Rodgers. I don't need Aaron. Imagine having Aaron Rodgers going into year 3 as a mentor trying to lead these guys, a guy who could actually throw the football. He would have been 1 billion times better than Justin Fields a year ago and 1 billion times better than either Geno Smith or Carson Wentz. I mean, I'd consider bringing him back. If the Steelers don't want him back, I know he'd never come here, nor should he, but he's better than those guys. Geno Smith is god-awful. He's terrible. Carson Wentz, what are we doing here?
How are you going to say you want to build the culture and this new coach comes in and he doesn't want all of the noise on this 45-year-old or how old he is player?
Then fine. Find the quarterback.
It made sense why he got rid of Rodgers because he doesn't want the eyes to be at the Rodgers show when Aaron Glenn's first year.
And understood. How'd it work out? He wishes that there were more eyes on somebody else and not him.
They were actively trying to lose in the second half of the year. They traded their whole team away. They traded all the pieces that were, with the exception of Garrett Wilson, for the reason why.
Let's simplify. Who do you want to see? You, Badabooms, I'm going to watch the Jets too. You, Badabooms, a big Jet fan. You want to go to games. I want to go to a game with you because your passion, it rubs off. It gets me excited. I like going to the game. We can check out the Jets. Who do you want to see on Sunday or Sundays under center?
Arch Manning.
You don't have an answer. And
there is no answer. There is no answer.
But somebody's got to do it. Somebody's got to do it. And therein lies
the whole setup just fell.
Well, stop hitting the damn table.
So I'm fired up. It's not even cold outside anymore. It's not even close to September. And I'm fired up about this team.
Therein lies the problem. All right, we'll get back to you. We get a little tired or wired. I'm going to transition.
Can I do one more thing real quick?
Go ahead.
What AVT did yesterday was absolutely spineless. Absolutely spineless. He could have just gone to the Giants.
He went to New England, yeah. Vera Tucker signed with the Patriots. That was late last night, right? That he did.
Yeah, I'm going to pre-fire this right now. When AVT goes all pro this year and they come with the poopy jet angle, he's played 40 games over the last 5 years. So this is not coming back to haunt the Jets. Ooh, it's gonna. But the narrative should not be, oh, the Jets are stupid and they got rid of him. He's played 40 games. I love AVT. Phenomenal player when he's on the field. The problem is your biggest asset is the ability to be on the field. And he was never on the field.
Yeah, I don't think you could blame the Jets for that. Who's blaming the Jets for that? I mean,
I'm saying when he goes first team all pro and plays 18 games this year and they're going to say poopy Jets, they should have re-signed AVT. There's a good reason why they didn't re-sign him. There's a good reason. Very valid reason.
Yeah, good player, potentially great player. He's got to stay healthy. And to be good and great, you got to be on the field consistently, obviously. We'll do a little tired of wired, so we'll get back to Badabooms in a little bit here. I wanted to get some baseball stuff. The WBC, I'm not going to break down the WBC, but even finding the highlights last night, I'm going to be honest with you. Two things. One, the broadcaster Sal. This is broadcaster Sal right now. Aaron Judge is the greatest player that I've ever seen. You saw it on display last night. Again, not that it matters in an exhibition tournament, but throwing a guy out in right field, heading into the home run, being the leader that he is. We all know this. That's why I said years ago, before many people were saying it, that he's the best player I've ever seen. Now it's like, well, yeah, he's the best player we've ever seen. No, well, I was saying that years ago that he surpassed Bonds as being the best all-around baseball player that I've ever seen. Now, fan Sal, while I appreciate that and respect it, I can't help but not, like, I don't want to root for Team USA led by Judge over a team led by Soto. Just envisioning, if it's Soto versus Judge head to head in the World Baseball Classic final, I'm assuming that can happen. I don't know, with these pools and brackets, whatever. I'm rooting for Soto. End of story. And I think you're seeing, it's weird with the WBC because while people want to root for US, you're also seeing it become a Yankee thing when Judge is doing damage. And maybe that's the case with Soto, although I don't feel it as much with DR that has become a Met thing. I feel like that's a little bit separate, but for me, it is a Met thing. Fans of the WBC are either choosing to root for their players or rooting for their country. I choose to root for the players. I think it would be cool to see US in the finals, but if it's US versus Japan, different story. US versus Soto, I'm going Soto. I'm sorry, I'm a Met fan. I'm a Met fan first. Winning a fake gold medal. Like, how do you give out a gold medal? It's not the Olympics. That's what the Olympics do. Winning a fake gold medal means nothing to me for U.S. My valuing of the U.S. does not have any, the World Baseball Classic does not have any input on my valuing of where the U.S. is versus the other countries. I think everybody would know that. So let's just get that out of the way. We know U.S. is the best, and we know that whether they win or lose this thing, or how many times Japan can win this thing, or other teams can win this, it doesn't matter. Like, we still, like, everybody's coming here to play Major League Baseball. That's why it's the best. That's why we love it most. So I don't look at the country any less than if they can't win this tournament. It'd be nice for them to win, but ultimately, I'm a Mets fan first, and I want my guys. You think if it's Soto Judge in the World Baseball Classic, that patriotism is going to trump Mets versus Yankees? I don't think so. I think it's going to be Judge and Team USA, which is going to be the Yankee fans, versus Soto and Team DR, which is going to be the Met fans. There's no way Met fans, even if you're rooting for US or want US to win, that you're going to be happy ultimately with Judge getting the best of Soto in that matchup. No way. Now, we don't know if it's going to happen. I'd love to see it. I think it'd be great drama. But if it does, I am rooting for Soto, no question about it. I forgot one thing that I wanted to get into, Badabooms, as far as the football stuff. Breece Hall yesterday. I had a note of that. I just saw it now. Breece Hall yesterday with the tweets. This dude can't help himself. Like, enough. I'm not going to go nuts ripping him, but Breece Hall's mouth is bigger than his production has been. Or maybe not his mouth because he's been on X posting about it. Like, just stop, dude. It's so self-serving. It's such a turnoff. I'm not trying to say young people shouldn't be on social media or shouldn't use their voice. Fine. I know that's the way of the new generation. So be it. Go do it if you think that's the right thing to do. Breece Hall talks as if he's Barry Sanders, and he's not. He's not Reggie Sanders. I'm all for Breece Hall wanting the most money and wanting to be a longtime Jet and getting taken care of. What I'm more interested in is seeing Breece Hall actually produce at a high level. And it's always something with him. He seems he's never happy. It'd be one thing if he were great. He's not. He hasn't been great. He was supposed to be great. There have been flashes of great. He's not great. And it just seems he's never happy. And when you're trying to build a culture, guy was doing it again last year. He's doing it again now. Like, come on, dude. Badabooms, what'd you think about your boy Breece Hall once again taking to Twitter to post his feelings?
I just want to say real quick, don't disrespect Reggie Sanders. He had 305 home runs.
What's Reggie Sanders most famous for, do you think? You may not know this. What's Reggie Sanders most famous for?
Was he not in the Big Red Machine?
Yes. Well, I mean, it wasn't Big Red Machine. He was on Cincinnati Reds.
Yeah.
To me, at least, and I would think most people feel the same way, he got hit by Pedro Martinez in what I believe was either a no-hitter or a perfect game, and he charged the mound. You don't remember that?
No, I don't remember that.
Sorry,
Jesus. I mean, just awful radio here.
I have allergies this morning. I'm sorry. I told you.
You know, it's starting though. The weather's changing and the allergies and stuff. Oh, this is what I think of Breece Hall real quick.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm looking at the camera. Dude, come on. Can we just hoop? I love the player Breece Hall, but when he does these things, it's like, come on, dude. Come on. And then did you see Braylon Allen post a video of his rehab? I didn't know if that was correctly timed or not.
I don't think it was on purpose, though.
No, but like, come on, like, enough.
Sorry, dude.
From what I hear, great. Here we go. I mean, what an unmitigated disaster.
My wife gets mad at me. I don't know what to tell you. I can't control it. She gets mad at me. Oh, here we go with another sneeze. Once I sneeze, I can't stop. I don't know if it's allergies or what, but I can't stop sneezing.
Had you ever seen it? It's not funny. This is an awful thing. Have you ever seen the girl who sneezes like 10,000 times a day?
No, it's like a disease she has or something.
Yeah, it was a video when I was in middle school. It's like probably just awful life to live with, but just terrible. But it's like imagine being on SNY and you're just sneezing 10,000 times.
No, knock on wood. I don't know how that doesn't happen though. Now that you think about it, or now that you bring it up, like when we think about it, either having to go to the bathroom like in an emergency situation or sneezing live on air. Like in radio, there were ways around it. You could hit the cough button, you could shut your mic off, you could get out of the studio, go to the bathroom, especially if
you guys had a cough button?
Yeah, of course.
Oh, I'm shocked.
Why? I used it. You're saying other people don't?
I'm not singling anybody out.
Some people, like Carton likes to burp on the air, whatever. No, there's a cough button.
Well, that's a part of his shtick.
That's what I'm saying. So like some people don't use it, but there's a cough button there. If you're doing a show with somebody else and there was an emergency, I could shut the mic off and go, or just say we got to take a break, like on the overnight, shut it and go. TV, there is no, you're on. That's it. Until there's a break, you're on. You got to plow through it. So there have been times with like phlegm in my throat or maybe holding back a sneeze, and other people have had this and you could see it, nose running a little bit. Like you just plow through, but it is never like these sneezes that I just had now. I've had that happen before on radio multiple times or in this type of setting, but I've never had that, luckily.
There's nothing worse when you're talking, because I know this because my job, like my real job, I speak like for hours of the day, and you got a Skeeter Bronson in the back of your throat. Just absolutely awful. You got that reference?
No, I don't. I don't understand it. What's that?
You're a big Adam Sandler fan. You don't understand Skeeter Bronson.
No.
Skeeter Bronson from Bedtime Stories?
Okay. And now explain how that makes sense about having something in the back of your throat.
Think about it. I don't want to, like, the fact that you just analyzed this, it was not meant to be analyzed. It was meant to be a one-off that somebody in the comments goes, no way Badaboom snuck that one by Sal. That was one of the ones you're supposed to know, Sal. You never seen Bedtime Stories?
I did, of course, multiple times. I have it on DVD. Yeah, I haven't seen it in years, but yeah. When did it come out? Movie. Yeah.
When I was young, when I, like, 08. That's a good movie for the kids, too. I know you have a young daughter. Like, that's one that, if you're trying to get her into Sandler, as she grew up. That's one of the first ones.
I love that movie. I saw it with my mother in the movie theaters.
Skeeto Bronson.
I still don't get the reference, but anyway. All right.
Somebody will say that.
Before we get to Tired or Wired, the Jets missed out on Tua. I touched on this earlier in the show.
Oh my God.
Dude, would you rather have, let's simplify it, because you can't give me an answer. No matter how many podcasts we do here, you can't give me an answer. Although I do want to congratulate you and applaud you and take this time to acknowledge that you have at least progressed to where I do ask a question, you're starting to learn to answer the question. So congratulations to you for your evolving here along the way on the podcast. I ask a question, you pay attention, you listen to it, you answer it. However, you still have been unable to give me an answer who you want under center. Every podcast that we do, we talk about this. Who you want under center this year for the Jets. So I'll ask you again, A, who do you want under center this year for the Jets? B, tell me that person is better than Tua Tagovailoa.
What do you mean better? Like Tua's Noodle Arm McGee and he, no offense to, I'm sorry, I don't mean this in a disrespectful way. He doesn't have it up here to play in New York. He just doesn't. Like, see how it is in Miami and the noise gets him. Tua seems like an absolutely lovely individual as a human being. When it comes to football, I don't care if you're a good human being. My favorite non-Jet is Ray Lewis. And who knows what happened there? I don't care what you do off the field. You have to be locked in alien when you're on the field. And Tua clearly can't do it in the play. Well, we want Tua. God forbid Tua does good like he does and he's stat pad for throughout the year. And we get to the playoffs, like I said yesterday, and it's 15 degrees. God willing, they would have been inside MetLife Stadium, and he's shivering and can't throw the football 5 yards.
Okay.
Is that if he's a stopgap, if you wanted him for 1 year?
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
Okay, maybe that's a different story.
So now let's go. Well, that's what he would have been. I was not saying ever. By the way, he's dirt cheap. The Dolphins are on the hook for all the money. Not
at this point, everybody's dirt cheap. Everybody's available at this point. He's dirt cheap because we know they're not getting Willis. By the way, you didn't give him flowers for not paying Malik Willis $25 million.
Yeah, no, I said that the other day. Like, I would not have wanted to do that. Although I'd rather do that than what they're saying now. So you didn't want to, well, fine. For 1 year, you're paying him nothing. The Dolphins are paying all that money. Why not take a flyer on him who can win you some games potentially, especially when you look at it versus Geno Smith or Carson Wentz? You'd rather have Geno Smith and Carson Wentz versus Tua for 1 year?
Falling with style. That's what those two are. It's falling with style.
Dude, it's got to be Kyler Murray or bust at this point for the Jets. That's where we're at.
Falling with style.
What does that mean?
There's another reference for you. Falling with style. What they want to do, what they really want to do. And I had this written down here, and I wonder if Woody's keened in on this, because who knows?
Again,
and what if he
you
turns
failed
on
to
it?
answer the question, though.
No, I am getting to the question.
Would you rather? Hey, let's just go direct question before you take me in circles here. Direct question. Would you rather have Geno Smith, Carson Wentz, or Tua Tagovailoa quarterbacking the Jets this year? You have to pick one.
Yeah, if I want them to win, I'd probably say Tua, but I don't want them to win.
Okay, but that's a different argument. I understand that part of your argument. That's a different argument. My argument is I want to see them win and be competitive. And the best quarterback to do that this year to me is Kyler Murray. Second would have been Malik Willis. Third would have been Tua. Two of those three are off the board. It sounds like Murray wants to go to the Vikings or maybe the Colts. If that's the case, the Jets are going to be left standing with Geno Smith.
Wait, if he goes to the Colts, people
in the comments telling me about Joe Flacco. Like, what are you guys, out of your mind? This is what you want to watch for 17 Sundays? My God.
If he goes to the Colts are obviously not carrying three quarterbacks, right? And they just gave Jones
Daniel
the tag.
Jones. Yeah, I know.
That doesn't make any sense. So I'm not running over your parade.
Anthony Richardson would be out there. You want him?
So there you go. There's another. If I have to give up. Dude, wait, hold on.
He's a dog. That's the guy you want to bring in on the culture. You're trying to talk about upgrading the culture. You're going to bring in Anthony Richardson.
Richardson's not a bad guy.
Oh, come on. He's a dog, not a bad guy. He's soft. He doesn't put the work in. All those.
You're using the word dog wrong. That's not how.
No. There's two versions of a dog. There's this guy's a dog, and then there's this guy's a dog. He's a dog in the way that he doesn't care. That dog. He's dogging.
I don't think he doesn't care. Where did you get that?
He lost the job, or maybe not. Doesn't care is the right word. He doesn't have the passion for it. This has been known for years. Let me educate you. I mean, he had the job, Badabooms. It was his job to lose.
Well, that was incorrect as it was.
He bad. The teammates didn't like him. Like there's a whole read up on it with Anthony. I would never touch Anthony Richardson. Anyway, go ahead, finish up here, and then we're gonna get tired of Wired, and then we gotta get out of here. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I just am very unclear still. Oh yes, this is what I was saying before you rudely interrupted there me and jumped on me like Brett to the referee. There's a reference for you. So I think the plan is to lose with style. They want to get 6 or 7, be within 15 so that they have all these assets. And if they want to get a quarterback and move up, that's what they're going to do. I don't think they're trying to make the playoffs this year. They just want to double the win total from last year, which obviously wasn't a lot. What does suck in today's game, though, is that this 6 wins doesn't get you a top 10 pick anymore. 6 wins has you picking out of the top 10.
Think about how dumb it is what you're saying. I'm not saying that they won't end up like that.
It's not dumb. It's not. How is it dumb?
The Jets aren't trying to limit how many wins they're going to have. Unfortunately for them, they're in a position where no matter what they do in the draft or the rest of free agency, they aren't going to win a lot of games because their team has got awful. They'd be lucky to win 7 or 8 games.
Yeah, no, exactly.
I don't agree with that.
Let me tell you why. Because
if they don't want to win too many games, then why would they trade for Fitzpatrick? Why would they bring in DeMario Davis? What do you mean they don't want to win?
You have to rebuild the defense, so you obviously are going to get better on defense. They have nobody on defense.
I know that, but don't. I know that, but don't say that they don't want to win. They're not good enough to win, and they know that. They understand that. But they're not like your idea and fans' idea thinking, no, the Jets are just going to lose on purpose. No, first of all, the Jets don't have to lose on purpose because they lose every year, but all the time. It doesn't matter what year it is. They always lose. That's what they do. But they're not building this team. This is a misnomer. You're wrong. Anybody who thinks this is wrong, they are not building this team with the idea of losing games in mind to get a better draft pick. There's no way that's happening. Yes, and if they are, they should both be fired immediately.
It's not losing on purpose like that. Maybe my wording is wrong there. They need, for the sake of employment, have to double their performance at least. They got to win at least 6 games next year if they're going to still be here, both of them. Barring a super white whale, Mike Tomlin level coach, Kevin O'Connell becomes available. Now, Sal, if they were trying to get to the playoffs, get to the Super Bowl next year, what they would do is take their 8 million first round picks, knock on the door of the Cincinnati Bengals GM and say, hey, here's 75 first round picks for Joe Burrow. That they would do that. But that's really why, the answer at quarterback.
But that's also why you don't tank, because you were saying like you go all in for Arch Manning, where there are too many variables there. You also don't know. What if Burrow says, you know what, I'm not happy here in Cincinnati, I want out, and maybe he wants the limelights of New York, and the Jets are ready.
If you look at Burrow, who he is, what his MO is about, he likes to be this Hollywood superstar quarterback.
So, and the way to get a guy like him, and this could go back to the Soto argument that BT and I used to have. By the way, BT and I live show April 2nd out on Wantagh, Long Island at Mulcahy's. Tickets are on sale now. Check it out. Carl Banks, our special guest. Haven't talked to him publicly since, so we'll be doing that. Have some fun with it. But we used to have this argument with Soto before Soto left the Yankees in free agency. It was, well, if the Mets are going to be in play, they had to build their team up to be at least a solid team. I didn't think that it really mattered. Turned out that the Mets did have a solid team before Soto chose them. I don't know how much it did matter in the end. He claimed that it did. I still think it was mostly about money. But would Burrow want to come here if the Jets just continue to win, none or 1 or 2 games? Or would it be better if they won 6 or 7 and he was like, you know what, I could go there and be a difference maker?
6 or 7. Besides the point, the Jets have the offensive line for Burrow. So if his whole thing is about being protected and everything, and barring a Darren Muji from the top rope today, the Jets may have Garrett Wilson, Brian Thomas Jr., Mason Taylor, Breece Hall, the offensive line. I don't think the Jets' offense is as far away as possible. The problem is they could get to 50. You need the other 50 or 60 with a quarterback. So they can build everything around. But if you don't have the quarterback, it means absolute ungats.
Agreed. You mentioned Brian Thomas Jr. Is something you want to tell me?
Yeah, if the Jets get Brian Thomas when I see you on Friday or Saturday, whatever it is, I'm going to lick my hand. I'm going to record. I'm going to lick my hand. I'm going to reach back like 1-3 like Odell Beckham Jr., and I'm going to slap the shit out of that bald head. Reach back like 1-3, like 1-3.
It's funny to be the tough guy on Twitter like that, but you know that's not.
Dude, first of all, it wasn't trying to be tough guy. It wasn't like I was pressing you or anything. Out of pure enjoyment and excitement, I'm going to lick the back of my hand, and I'm going to
I would love it if the Jets got Brian Thomas Jr. I thought he was going to have a monster year a year ago. I hate that he had the dropsies and all that stuff, but I would love to see them get another explosive playmaker, pair him alongside Garrett Wilson. Now, wouldn't be my first priority, but I think that, obviously I want a quarterback, but I think that bringing him in, if you could get him off a good value, off a down year, that would excite me if I were a Jet fan, so I understand it. All right,
I don't know what the rush is to get rid of him. There's some crazy rush to. Can you just fill real quick so I can reset my light up?
I don't know what the rush would be to get rid of him. Something to me would be off. Maybe they're just down on him. Maybe he wasn't happy there. Maybe they get a sense of that. Maybe they know that. I have no idea. But it was obviously a disappointing year a year ago. Maybe Liam Cohen sees something in him that he just doesn't love. I don't know what the rush would be or why Jackson will be getting ready to move on from him. But it's not like this is the greatest move. There is a risk involved here with the Jets going to get him. This is a guy who didn't live up to the hype in year 2. He was supposed to be a stud a year ago. So I like taking that potential, and that's going to get all the fantasy people excited. But for me, there also is a question mark there. And I'd rather build the team inside out before I got all caught up on going to chase wide receivers and skill position players. But if you think about envision pairing Brian Thomas Jr. with Garrett Wilson, with Breece Hall, all of a sudden you have some playmakers. If you just had somebody who could throw them the football, somebody not named Carson Wentz or Geno Smith, I think that would be beneficial. All right, tired of wired. Let's go, Badabooms. What do you got for me?
Let's get Buddy Brisker in there, whatever his name was.
Bubby Brister. You never heard of Bubby Brister?
I actually have heard of that name before. I have heard of that name before.
Oh, my God.
That's just one of those names, like we're sitting there on Sunday and my dad's like, oh, Bubby Brister.
Yeah, exactly.
He doesn't talk like that, but all right. Tired of Wired. Here we go, Sal. Today's Tired Wire. It is March 10th, 2026. The first one. You want me to start with the sport one, or we'll get to the sport one?
I don't care. This is supposed to be your thing here.
I got it ready. Don't say I don't have it ready and I'm not prepared, because I do have it ready.
Don't ask me what you want to say. Just start with it. Go ahead.
All right. Well, I noticed you went to the movies this week, Sal. You are Father of the Year. I want to give you the flowers for that. And I have a Tired of Wired based off of that. Going to the movie theaters and not getting popcorn. I would call that a dry movie. Is that Tired of Wired?
You're saying is the idea of going to the movies and not getting popcorn tired or wired?
Tired or wired?
Yeah, you can't go to the movies and like the best part of going to the movies is in fact the popcorn. I look forward to that the most. I'll wait on the line. I don't care how long it is. I get the biggest bucket of popcorn. I don't care how many people were there. My daughter and I, she housed popcorn. Was housing it. I'm like, all right, Sam, we got to take a break from this because I don't know. I'm there without my wife, who's usually in charge of things. I don't know how much. Like for me, I just eat until the bag is empty, or I eat until the popcorn is empty. But with a kid, you probably shouldn't do that. But my daughter was housing it, just like Daddy, eating that popcorn, watching the movie Hoppers, which by the way was an excellent movie. How do you go to the movies and not sit there with a bucket of popcorn? I'd rather have popcorn than like, and I like Goobers, but like Goobers or the Reese's Pieces. What do you call them? Not the peanut butter cup. The little
Reese's Pieces. Yeah, that's the Johns with the pieces. I'm happy you didn't say Pieces. I can't stand when people say that. That's one of my biggest pet peeves when people say Reese's Pieces.
But why do they say that? Because it's
they're
not
trying to
pieces,
rhyme and be funny or something. I know there's a specific person in my life who does that, and
what are you doing?
I'm trying to fix this light up because it just got bombarded. I don't know what happened though. It might be over.
Can you like what are we doing? Can you upgrade the screen or what's going on?
I'm out of my setup. Yeah, I apologize. This is a bad job by me, bro.
No, it's okay. Anyway, I don't know where people get the Reese's Pieces thing from, but it's Reese's Pieces, is it not?
Yeah, peanut butter chocolate, great ones separate, but when they combine, they make the morning time breakfast.
So we all agree about the popcorn. I don't know if I love that Tired of Wired because who would say that that's Wired going without popcorn?
No, you would, Sal. You wouldn't know how many people are so angst. And I guess maybe it's a price thing and maybe I'm being insensitive, but people buy all these other snacks and they go to the theater. You can't go to a movie without pop. I mean, you kidding me? You can't sit there with with Frito-Lays and say you need popcorn. You need popcorn at a movie.
I agree, and I love chips, and I was just thinking about that as you said, Frito-Lays. I was thinking about, well, if I brought in a bag of chips, would it be the same? No, it would not be the same.
It would not be the same. You need popcorn.
Sometimes if I'm like, man, I'm in the mood for popcorn, I go to the movie theater just so I could get the popcorn.
Yeah.
Also, popcorn is not the same. Like if you go to the Garden, and I like popcorn at the Garden, it's delicious. Or Met Game, it's very good, but it's also not the same. Popcorn tastes better in the movie theater. So it's twofold. It's just a perfect match.
There's some sporting events. I don't know if I'm getting this confused here. I believe City has good popcorn. I like the popcorn at City.
The Garden
don't love the Yankee. The Garden popcorn's good. The garden popcorn is just so Ranger playoff game to me. I've been to 2 Ranger playoff games, and it's just dogging out of pure anxiety.
The garden popcorn is second to none. Okay, what do you got?
100% agree with you. Second, so I'm going to go also going to movies, not getting popcorn, tired. So we're both tired on that. Second one, this is the sport-related one.
Find me the person who's wired on that. Like, I'd love to know.
Sal, there are people, like, trust me, there are. Like, they'll go and get a steak dinner or put it in their bag, walk into the movies, and they'd rather have that than popcorn. Right. Like, it sounds crazy, but there are people who believe that.
Okay.
This one's not as. This is etiquette when going to a sports game. Going to a game, you're watching 2 teams play, and you're wearing the jersey of a team that's not actively playing in the game. Tired or wired?
I think that's tired. I'm not saying I've never done that before. I don't.
You look like the kind of guy that would do it.
No, I don't recall if I did. The only time I may have done that is if I wore we talked about this the other day when I
said it on the show.
Yeah, when I give you the trivia question, if I wore a Falcons jersey to the Monday Night Football game between the Jets and Dolphins, but even that to me was not as bad. What's bad is if you wear a Mets or a Yankee, dude. Shut the phone off. Come on.
I have the tired or wired on.
Oh, you put it on silent.
Mm-hmm.
It's like 101. You taping a show, you put it on silent.
I'm all out of whack today.
Huh?
I'm all out of whack today with this light not being.
You are a mess. So wearing a Falcons jersey, a meaningless, irrelevant Falcons jersey to a Jets-Dolphins football game, to me is a little different than wearing a, let's say, Mets or Yankees jersey. Let's say wearing a Mets jersey to a Yankee game where the Mets aren't playing. That's like asshole behavior. Wearing a Yankee jersey to Citi Field for a game that the Yankees aren't playing, equally asshole-ish behavior. You just, like, you're asking for trouble. So to me, that's stupid. That's something I would never do. So I think it is tired, the idea of wearing a jersey of a team to a game that team is not playing, because you're just asking for trouble. I did do it once too. Lakers. I went to a Lakers-Raptors game in L.A., and I wore a Rasheed Wallace Blazers jersey.
Oh, Rasheed Wallace.
And at the time, now I'm a big jersey guy. Like, I just have a bunch of jerseys, and I used to wear them all the time. I don't anymore, but I used to wear them all the time. But at the time, the Blazers and Lakers were at one of maybe the heights of their rivalry. This is going back years ago. Shaq and Kobe were on the team. This is probably 2001, 2002.
Oh, wow.
So, like, I was trolling. And I also was scared for my life when people started commenting on the walk out after the game about the jersey. So even though I did it when I was in my 20s, stupid behavior, and I never did it with baseball in this town, but I did do it with potentially the Falcons, and I definitely did it with the Blazers, Lakers. It's tired. You can't do that. Stupid behavior.
That's where you get it the most with the baseball in this town. How many times I've been walking in a Yankee Stadium, seen a Met jersey, or vice versa, driving in the city, and you're sitting in that traffic, and like how many Aaron Judge jerseys walk by? Look, I don't hate the Mets, but either way, that move is just, it's corny what it is. It really is. It's corny. Yeah. I think if you're a young kid doing it and you want to like clown on your friends, that's fine. Past the age of like 19, it's like, time to get a wife and kids, time to touch grass, time to grow up, time to get a real job. Indeed.com, people are hiring all over the world.
All right, what's your third one?
I'm going to say that one is tired. Third one, ranch dressing on pizza. Tired or wired?
It's also tired. I've never had it. I mean, I may have had like a slice of pizza in a drunken state one night in Port Jeff, like bacon, chicken ranch, something like that. I feel
CBR might be different. CBR might be different. I'm saying like taking the bottle.
Taking the bottle of ranch, dude. You're Italian. I'm Italian. I've never done. That's sacrilege. You've done this?
No,
that's tired.
Oh, I'm thinking about it, and it's really pissed me off. It just worked me. Oh, it's really getting under my skin now. I didn't mean to run you over.
Are you wired or tired with this?
No, there's not only am I tired, I might be in the grave on this one. I hate ranch dressing. I can't stand ranch dressing.
But you've had the CBR.
The CBR is a little different because it's like a Dabber Ranch, Richard Mille costs a Dabber Ranch.
Okay, but that's to me the same. Like I've never ordered that sober in my life. If I did order it, it was by accident. It was either a drunken state, late in the morning, like I said, many, many years ago. I just remember my friends talking about it. They love the chicken bacon ranch slice. So maybe I've had one like by accident with them, but I would never get ranch. You don't put ranch on pizza. That's disgusting. I don't even
No.
put ranch on wings. I go blue cheese.
Yes. Oh, Sal, we got a lot in common, dude. I don't think you realize
who does this? You think people actually, especially coming from where you are in Connecticut or with me in Jersey with all these great pizza spots, you think people putting ranch on pizza?
I just want to say all three of these things. I have people very close to me that are abusers of all three of these things, and that's where my inspiration came from.
Okay, I respect it.
There was this kid that I went to high school with, and he, every single Friday when they had pizza in school, he'd go up to the thing and he'd go, and I would look at it and go, "What is wrong?" And he was a guinea too. He was a big Italian kid. He was larger than me, believe that, but he was tall. And he would eat this ranch dressing. Oh, I can't stand it's so. I can't say the words that I want to say. I'll say it off air, but it's just this watery. Oh, it's nasty. I can't stand ranch dressing. How do people eat ranch? It's nasty.
I'm holding in a sneeze again, so maybe we should wrap up the show.
Yeah, let me ask you another question, real pizza related. So we're both going tired on that. Are you like a gimmick pizza guy? Like, do you like gimmick pizza?
No.
Yeah, me neither. I'm very sacred about this. Like, I don't even eat pizza that much for the sake of keeping it sacred. Unlike chicken parm.
No, I mean,
literally eat chicken parm.
Usually I'll go, damn.
Jeez, awful radio.
Well, I told you to wrap it up. You didn't take the cue. And this isn't radio. It's a podcast. I got to sneeze. Sometimes I'll go like buffalo chicken, drunken grandma slice.
What's drunken grandma?
Yeah, it's vodka. Just vodka sauce.
I've never. Oh, PLV, you're saying?
Yeah. I don't know what PLV is, but yeah. All right. Hold on. Gee, you waited too long, dude.
Yeah, I'm going to fill here. Gimmick pizza based on what it is and based on who does it. Like, there are some places that are just doing way, way too much. It should always be a compliment. It should never be an amalgamation of the dish. When done right, gimmick pizza can be very fruitful. And this dude's having a sneeze attack here. He's turning into the girl that sneezes 10,000 times a day.
I told you. I tried to wrap it up before we would have been clean. You didn't take the cue.
What an unmitigated disaster.
It really is. You got your work cut out for you. All right, that does it for this edition of the Sal Licata Show podcast. How the hell did we do 52 minutes on absolutely nothing there? The free agency is fun. We'll keep up tabs on that. We get closer and closer to baseball season. Look forward to that as well. Mets, Yankees, Subway Series tickets to give away over the course of the next month or so. We'll do that when we get the subscribers up. So stick with us here. We got some guests planned as well. We got a lot, and we got the spring training trip, Badabooms, that I got to get into. But I have to sneeze again, so we're going to be out. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye.